This program is brought to you by IG. Trade over 12,000 shares and ETFs, including major tech giants with extended hours on an award-winning platform. IG, where traders are made.
And our stock of the day is ANZ, set to overtake NAB to become the third largest bank in Australia after Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers gave the final tick of approval for its $4.9 million takeover acquisition of Suncorp Bank, paving the way for the banks to merge. ANZ saying it is a significant milestone in plans to expand their presence in Queensland, and there will be no net job losses as a result of that acquisition for 3 years. Suncorp agreeing to waive a $10 million per annum brand licence fee that ANZ was to pay for 5 years. Now, the expected completion date is the end of this July. We've seen a bit of a bump there for ANZ. Also, Suncorp doing well today, but of course that does then leave Suncorp as the insurer. So I might get a view on both then as a result. Junbei, look, this deal was expected, wasn't it? It was just a matter of getting it over the line.
That's right, getting it over the line, and then now, hopefully give a bit of earnings upside much further down the track. Now, historically, the experience with the bank merger hasn't been fantastic. So our view is that whether it will be, good contributor, we'll still wait and see. ANZ is interesting at the moment, given its exposure to the New Zealand market. It's actually looking pretty expensive, or traded a bit too well relative to what's been happening in the in New Zealand. I think New Zealand is something like 20-25% of the exposure. At the moment, people are, we have about 10 retailers or 10 companies downgrading in New Zealand in the last week. So it's that economy is doing very tough. So anything that has exposure to New Zealand, I do think will be under a lot more pressure. So this deal aside, I think ANZ is probably going to be under a bit more pressure for soon.
Okay, do you hold it though at this level?
No, I don't hold. I don't think so.
No?
ANZ is not my pick of the bunch.
All right. Look, also Suncorp. Can I get your view on that? Then, look, obviously with that, the banking business been absorbed, does leave the insurance business. How are you looking at that at the moment?
I think the domestic insurance business is actually pretty good. So I think both Suncorp and IAG had a result today. Had a upgrade as well. Both very, very strong. And I think domestic premium rate is still doing quite well, and which is a little bit different from the US market, where US, looking at rate cuts and the like, so there potentially will be a bit more pressure further down the track. But domestically, I think things are going quite well. Plus, Suncorp now will have a bunch of cash, and they will buy back capital.
Okay. What would you do with Suncorp then?
I'll buy.
Buy. Yep. Okay. Good one. Adam.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough. I mean, no job losses for 3 years. Is that enough to get that across the line? I mean, the ACCC did knock it on the head and said that it would lessen competition. But obviously Jim Chalmers has come through.
Well, they've got to maintain those regional branches. That's the key, isn't it?
Yes.
As far as the ACCC.
Yes, and we know that all big banks have been closing branches left, right and centre across Australia, trying to do deals with post offices and things like that to try and sort of look at it. So, yeah, those branches are going to suck a fair bit of revenue, or not revenue, but cost for the business. But look, it's something that they've had to do to get the deal across the line. I agree with Junbei that Suncorp is a buy, because there will be a capital return of some sort back to shareholders, whether they're doing a buyback or a capital return for that excess cash. 4.9 billion Aussie, I think it was, that they're doing this for. So it actually isn't a bad deal for Suncorp shareholders. ANZ, I think, has got a fair bit of integration to happen, so I think that's going to be a little bit tough. I wouldn't be a holder of ANZ. In fact, the banks are a pretty tough space, and we've got another bank coming up as well later in the show. So for me, it'll be a no for ANZ. I'm not a fan, but happy to hold, buy Suncorp.
Okay. All right. So that's, we had stocks today there, really, didn't we? It is no for ANZ, but a buy there for Suncorp.
This program was brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. Trade over 17,000 markets with extended hours on key US shares and competitive spreads, all on an award-winning platform. IG, where traders are made.